to Masterpiece Theater. Psych. Welcome to Reading with Kermie. Chris here, aka Kermie. I hope everybody's doing well this Wednesday afternoon. Almost had to think about that for a split second. Most of us are still in lockdown mode, so we lose track of our days easy. I know I do that anyway, but this COVID thing has been an extended staycation. Finally had an interview though yesterday, so crossing fingers they call back and say come on and start. So we'll see. So this is Reading with Kermie, and I'm reading Don't Stress the Small Stuff. It's just small stuff, and this is book 2 with the family. So, and there's one more book in this trilogy of the Don't Stress the Small Stuff, so stay tuned for more to come. We are on chapter 69, and this chapter is called Keep in Mind, as within, so without. It's an intriguing title. It got me interested, so let's check it out, shall we? Here we go. Your volume up? Okay, gotcha. This philosophical strategy has helped me many times throughout my adult life. Its greatest value is to help you regain your perspective when your life seems hectic or out of control. It seems from the understanding that your outer world, your environment, the noise level, the relative calm or chaos in your life is usually a reflection of your inner world. The degree of peace and equanimity, or the lack thereof, your experience in your mind. Yes. That's a tricky one, isn't it? Many people have a strong resistance to this strategy because it can be quite humbling. Who wants to believe that a hectic life is caused even in part by a frenzied mind? After all, it's easier to believe that your life is hectic because of your circumstances, schedule, and responsibilities. If you have the humility to admit, however, that this message is true and can be enormously helpful. Because while you have little control over your outer environment, you do have the capacity to change from the inside out. Very true. One of my favorite books is John Kabat-Zinn's Wherever You Go, There You Are. Consider for a moment the essence of this title. It correctly suggests that if you are nervous, hurried, and disorganized in one home, you'll probably find a way to recreate a similar set of facts wherever you go. Yes, I've experienced this phenomenon many times, and I'm sure you have too. Carry on. For example, have you ever met someone who is always late? Does it help if you give the person an extra 10 minutes to get ready? No, it doesn't. The reason is simple. The habit that creates the tendency to be late isn't the clock or the time of day or even the number of things to do that day. Instead, it stems from an inner habit. The tendency to wait until the last possible minute to leave. You can change the external facts. Where the person is going, who he or she is going to meet, and so forth. But the person will almost always find a way to show up late. He or she will always have an array of great excuses, but the fact remains, he or she will be late. This habit, like all the others, comes from the inside. The person is reflected in his or her life. True that. The most helpful part of this information has to do with the question, what comes first, a calm mind or a calm life? If you think about Kabat-Zinn's title, the answer, while difficult to admit is obvious. A calm mind precedes a more peaceful outer life. In other words, if your life seems overwhelming, the best place to start your improvement is within your own mind. Perhaps you need a break or a change of pace. Maybe you need a little more time for yourself. Maybe you need to spend less time watching television and a little more time reading helpful books. Would learning meditation or spending time in prayer be helpful? Perhaps you need less sleep or to Perhaps you need less sleep or to get up even earlier to create some alone time. Each person is going to require different prescription because each of us have different needs. Yet the very act of simply acknowledging that the root of the problem lies within, not in the circumstances in your life, is often helpful in of itself, because it places the blame where it really belongs, inside each of us. The next time you're feeling overwhelmed or frustrated, slow down and take a look inside. If you do, I'm certain you'll agree that your outer world is often a reflection of your inner world. By simply noticing this connection, you may very well know that what steps are needed to solve the problem. That is a freaking awesome chapter, I think, and it's so true, because that's one of my favorite sayings either. And I've shared it many times before for years. If you don't go within, go without. And there's many examples even in my life today that I see that. And it's weird, not just myself, I observe it in others. For example, I'm living with my sister, she's my roommate, and I love her to death, but she is a slob, and you see probably 60% of our apartment is filled with just stuff that she's carried through the years. So yeah, that's a perfect example, because and I told her, you're gonna clean up, you're gonna help your insides out, but people like her, like other people, we use the excuse that we work all the time. But anyway, I'm not gonna get into that because it might get me all fired up. Something I don't want to be fired up in right now. I'm reading with Kermie and you guys. But it's so true, because especially last year or so, I've really recognized a lot of this in myself. Probably a year and a half ago, I broke up with my ex and moved in with my sister to have that change of pace, to get a different perspective in my life, and I gave myself this time. I'm still giving myself this time. Well, due to COVID, it helps. But anyway, just giving myself that reflection and that self-care on a daily basis these days. It's been kind of nice, But I can see a lot of those old behaviors and why that was, and why my life was so chaotic, especially, me being a drug addict. Living in my drug addiction, of course, is chaotic. A lot of you can relate it. I know, but it's the way it is. Your head's so full of crap, your outer world's gonna also be so full of chaotic crap. But I've learned to slow down this last year, like I said, and take it easy. Take things one thing at a time, and a lot of it's been isolation, yeah, and a lot of it I'm desperate and willing to get back out in the world and find some change, We all desire that a lot of times in our life. And hoping, like I said, hoping this job's going to come back. I have no doubts that they will call me back, but he said they'd come back with a yes or no this week, so cross your fingers. It's pretty good. I'm excited to get back in the world, and I've mostly done restaurants in the last 10, 15, 20 years. This is a retirement community, so be another positive change of pace for me, I believe. So I'm really hoping I get this position. I got some plans in my life right now, and I need to save some money to do that. But more will be revealed on that, and when I feel comfortable to talk about it, I just might. Anyway, I hope you guys got something out of that reading today, like I have. It's reminding me to see where I'm at within myself and how I feel about myself today. And today I feel pretty good. Life is okay. I have to count my blessings, because if I don't, I'm going to stay in that chaos, and that's what I don't want. Sometimes it just happens in our lives, but we can have control of what? Ourselves. So, on that note, I will leave you guys, and a nice day, so I'm going to try to figure out what I want to do for the rest of the day. So, peace. Love you guys, and I hope you guys have a great rest of the Wednesday. See ya.